They play in the Midland Alliance, and this football ground means everything to the Leamington fans who funded and built it themselves. In fact, like many smaller clubs, Professor Wyn Grant argues that it has an important role within the community, both socially and economically.
Well, Leamington Football Club is typical of many clubs across the country. It's a community club, and regardless of the size of the club, it makes a tremendous contribution to the local community in all sorts of ways.
And presumably they're most important to younger people.
It's very important. There's an affiliated series of sides called the Junior Breaks for children from under 9s to under 13s. It gives them a chance to play competitive football, but also it gives them a chance to develop their life skills as well, and that's very important.
And this club effectively belongs to its fans, doesn't it?
Well, that's right. The club was originally associated with a company, and then the company sold off the ground for housing. And for 12 years, there was no club. And a small group of people kept the flame alive, and eventually they were able to acquire the land here, build a pitch, and then ultimately build the clubhouse, which was all done with voluntary labour, but with just the materials, supplied by local firms at cost or free in some cases.
And in which ways are clubs like this beneficial to the local community?
I think all the hard work has brought people together, and there's a tremendous spirit at this club, and people find it a very friendly place to come.
The Rico Arena, built on a brownfield site, was completed in 2005. It can seat almost 33,000 people, but is it really a whole new ballgame?
What you can see here are very different facilities. We've got here a hotel, we've got facilities for exhibitions, for conferences, lots of restaurant facilities and so on. So the scale is very, very different. But of course the principle is the same. It's a space where football can be played. And of course at Leamington they're trying to use their clubhouse to generate additional revenue.
And because it is so much larger, does it have more of an impact than Leamington Stadium?
Oh yes, I think this stadium was built with economic regeneration money to some extent, and that's an important part of it, to try and regenerate this part of North Coventry and to bring people into the area and to create jobs. So that's a very important part of the picture for this facility here.
And is the social impact of such a large stadium as important as the one in Leamington?
Well, I think it offers different sorts of things. It offers the opportunity for people to get work which they might not otherwise get. So it's a different kind of thing, but obviously it's a very important facility which can be used by the community as well.
From its inception, the Rico Arena was intended as a catalyst for community initiatives. It has a huge impact both educationally and socially within the area. There's even a partnership education environment which is planned as a fun place for local school pupils to learn.
The Rico Arena is unique in the UK in that it is a real community-focused project, in that you have a situation where the Coventry City Council 50% own Arena Coventry Limited that own and operate the stadium here, and that link has proved enormously beneficial. We have a project that has generated over 5,000 jobs altogether on this site from an area of an old derelict gasworks, and the whole point of moving from difficult industrial land, which was always an eyesore visually, has suddenly been able to move to a landmark building that has actually generated good quality jobs in the north of Coventry.
Even without multi-million-pound arenas or football clubs, sport can still benefit the local community. Coventry have adopted a citywide strategy similar to Leamington Football Club.
Through this project itself, sports had a major impact in many areas, including crime, drugs, employment, training, and a major element of our delivery is the education, training and employment programme, where many of the young people have now come through as coaches working on the project. That in itself gives economic well-being to those young people and those families. So there's so many hooks there really that we are using to get young people involved to feel part of a wider agenda.